Oh boy, if you're a PlayStation Vita collector, there are good times ahead! Greetings and salutations, fellow Vita Islanders. I am James with PSVita at 2 a.m. and I'm coming at ya, you know the phrase, with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, click that subscribe button. Now this topic is going to be a follow-up-ish on a previous video I did talking about Twin Breaker's physical release from PlayAsia, because it seems like there's more going on here than first meets the eye. You smell that? I smell a scandal. Even though I don't have a Twitter account myself, I do enjoy getting on the platform in order to stalk random people. You know, I stalk them, they stalk me. It isn't much, but it helps make the time pass. Now, for those who are unaware, Sony has officially discontinued PlayStation Vita carts here in the West, meaning such territories as North America, Europe, the like. So sadly, we can't expect to see any more new games pop up at places like GameStop, for instance. Those days are done. Though in Japan and Asia, physical carts are still being produced. Up to this point though, we weren't sure how plentiful they were over there. And the reason why I bring this up is because back sometime, I want to say last year, could be even longer than that, I don't know where in the world I am sometimes, Josh Fairhurst from Limited Run Games himself had stated in a recent tweet, well, recent back then from the time he posted it, that even in Asia, PlayStation Vita carts were dwindling. The supply was getting lower and lower, and thus they were having to fight for some of their Western releases with some of the Asian physical carts, having to kinda split it amongst regions, as it were. This came as a pretty big shock to the Vita community because up until this point, we thought that PlayStation Vita carts in Asia were safe. According to him though, they weren't, and we weren't sure how much longer they were gonna last even in Asia. There were even rumors going around that in early 2020, PlayStation Vita carts in Asia were going to be discontinued. Again, this was only a rumor. Well, on my usual stalkerific fun that I was having on Twitter, I happened to come across this tweet by PlayAsia themselves purely by accident. And it wasn't even through PlayAsia's tweet, it was through East Asia Soft's tweet. Oh, PlayAsia, I see you being all sneaky and stealthy over there. Back when they were announcing Twin Breaker, and I quote, "We're excited to announce that this Thursday, March 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m. Hong Kong, physical limited editions of Twin Breaker for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita will be available for 2 weeks of open pre-order from PlayAsia. No quantity limit." Now, as you may have guessed, this did surprise many of us over in the Vita community because we're thinking, whoa, open pre-order? Are you serious? What year is this? You probably no doubt remember my excitement when I had heard about this back in my previous video where I talked about Twin Breaker. I drooled on my keyboard shortly after that video was finished. It was certainly a pleasant surprise. But it gets even more interesting because down below, a user by the name of 1up2play expressed his feelings on this subject, saying, "Disappointing. With the limited amount of Vita carts available, you should be more selective as to which titles get a physical release." Now, of course, the quality of the PlayStation Vita games themselves is subjective. What's a great choice to one person might not necessarily be to the other, and I completely understand that. It was PlayAsia's response to him, though, that some people may have missed, and it looks like it just might be a game changer for us collectors. PlayAsia responded to him saying, "This would be valid if there were a finite amount of carts. In Asia, we can continue to place orders and produce Vita games as normal with no limitations expressed yet." Oh, that was my "I'm very excited" moan. So with this tweet alone here, it looks like physical Vita carts in Asia are still very plentiful. In fact, according to PlayAsia's tweet here, there's still no limitation on it. So it does bring to mind a few questions here. I wonder why Josh Fairhurst had made such a claim back a year or so ago, saying that even in Asia, the carts were starting to dwindle. Because according to PlayAsia, they're not. And of course, if you're a collector, this is excellent news because this means we're going to be able to get a lot more physical PlayStation Vita games in the year 2020, maybe even beyond, because we do have to keep in mind that the PlayStation Vita was very successful, or at least, moderately successful in Japan, enough for them to keep production going. So when I read this, I got that warm, fuzzy feeling. Like how I get when I stalk people on Twitter? It was even more fuzzy than that. So if you're a PlayStation Vita collector out there and you were wondering or worrying about how many games we may have left, it looks like there is still plenty more to come. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if we're going to be getting a new physical release from Asia, that being an Asian English release, like every month or so. Don't have any confirmation of that, but I'm just saying, the way PlayAsia is speaking here, it looks like that could be highly in our future. As well as them doing open pre-orders now make all the sense in the world. In fact, maybe my prediction of them doing open pre-orders in the foreseeable future may just come to pass after all. I might be right about something. Who would have thought? But let me know what you think, fellow Vita Islanders. Or in this case, fellow Vita Islanders who are also /collectors. How did this news make you feel? Did you get them warm fuzzy feelings like me? Did it make you drool all over your Butterfinger? Assuming that some of you, were eating a Butterfinger. Let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. The following video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Jace Bellerin, Neo Arashi, Matt Fox, Reiko Star, David Ray, Skullshire Tugel TCG, Adam Theory, Pierce Sterner, E-Rock, JR, Kyle Brooks, Saul Ramirez, Phantom XRS, Gutter Drums, Rodrigo Vera, Aaron Swanson, Heston Joseph, Kevin Enright, Jared Hadot, Joshua Williams, Ruben Gutierrez, BMF, Larry Anderson, Mario Cruz, Jelle, Buzz Sayin, Richard Cruz, Dennis R. Huggins Jr., Adam Sondi, and Hero Acer. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your lovely portrait over on this end screen, then check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do so in that area. And if you're a PlayStation Vita collector, it looks like we're gonna need more shelves. Forget shelf space, just more shelves.